Welcome to Overwatch. Welcome to another episode of Coaching the Many. Today, we're going to start talking, not so much we're going to jump straight in, but we're in a weird situation, right? If you aren't aware, for some weird reason, Roll Q, the long-awaited, that's how you spell Q, right? Has joined us, has graced us with its presence. I did some DPS placements last night. They were very, very fun. They were great. They were so fun. They were brilliant. I loved it. And a lot of people, as a result, are going to be coming back to Overwatch. Curious to see like what's changed, what's different, what's going on. Like, I want to see what it's like. I want to know what it's like. I want to play the game again. But along with Roll Queue is a really weird scenario. We have this beta season. Okay? And this, I think, is one of the greatest learning moments you can get in Overwatch. If you are coming back to Overwatch, if you want to change role, if you want to get better at a certain hero, if you want to do something specific, now is the time. The reason why is the beta season, apparently it's not going to matter. Like, it's not actually counted. It's just like for them to see how the data tracking is going, where it's placing people, what it's doing, work out any kinks. It's basically like a PTR season, but put on live. Everyone goes and plays it. Everyone wants to play it. It's the only thing you can play. And as a result, you have a huge opportunity here because you are getting, and not many people seem to realize that this season isn't real. It isn't like a real season. It's just like a weird beta season that's sort of outside of the normal space-time continuum. It is a huge opportunity to get better at the game. It is a massive opportunity to get better at the game because suddenly all the pressure's off, right? All the pressure is gone because these games, they're going to be forgotten about. They're quick play in disguise. Like, that's literally what they are. So you can now get good games that are basically ranked matches, but you can get them on live. It's a big opportunity. Do not miss that opportunity. If you want to take the time to learn something new, do something different, experiment a little bit with heroes you might not normally play, now is a very good time to do it. I'm doing it to learn Widowmaker, basically, and play a bunch of Widowmaker. Right. Let's get started. We've got some sombrero to begin with. Do we have sound? Yeah, we have some sound. Oh no. Oh no. Been communicated with. First things first, Happy Pants. I believe you get names like that if you hit the random name generator or if you get your name changed for some reason. I seem to remember that being a thing. So, naughty. Naughty to not come up with your own identity, or naughty to have your name forcibly changed. First thing we do, always. So I think this is played on PTR. I remember the email saying this is on PTR. Not quite on live, but same patch, same idea. And the game looks stable, so hey. First thing we do, look at our team. Think about our team comp. What does it do? How does it work? Well, this is kind of already interesting. Rhine Sigma, I don't mind too much. It's not the end of the world. It's not a bad thing. It's actually okay. Actually, I overall, like, after playing a little bit, I find Sigma in the off-tank role a lot better than Sigma in the main tank role. I actually really like him in the off-tank role. We'll see how he pairs up, though. Like, the issue with him in the off-tank role is he's competing against Zarya and D.Va. That's difficult. Or Roadhog with Orisa, for example. It's difficult to justify him. But he has some good stuff. Our main team's win condition is going to come off like Nanoblade primarily. Maybe some good stuff out of the Sigma ult. We can also, as Sombra, because we are playing Sombra, we can link quite nicely with Reinhardt. EMP plus Earthshatter or Hack plus Earthshatter is a very powerful combo. So the thing that I'm thinking of primarily is like, yeah, we want to like partner up with Reinhardt and then maybe help Sigma get some kills with his ultimate. You know, he lifts everyone, you EMP them, and then you just win the fight, for example, would be a very easy way to win. What I want to know is like how we open up, where are we looking, what are we finding. First things first, I don't like this route. You can see exactly why straight away. This route, as Sombra, like, Sombra moves faster than most heroes while stealth. there is actually no need to go like the fastest route possible, right? Which is sort of this way. And the reason why you don't go this way is because, yeah, they will be watching this side generally. If someone just happens to be around the corner and you bump into them, then they can know where you are, they know where you're going to be, and they're going to shoot you in the goddamn face, reveal your stealth, and set you, like, you'll recall, you'll translocate out maybe, but it's just a time waste that you don't really have. So don't be afraid to just take an extra couple of seconds to make sure you get the perfect setup. Personally, I'm fine with how we did this bit, but what I'd like to see is us just go under, and then like you can go around this way, you can go underneath and go up the inside. Like, once you're past the payload and once you're past where your team is, you can just kind of go. But yeah, we're not going to get past this guy. That's a very strange choice. So our goal early on as Sombra is primarily to build ult, right? Like, Sombra is an EMP. That's what Sombra does. That's what Sombra do. Your entire power, like, if you take Sombra out of context, if you transplant her out of context, and if you got rid of her ability to hack and to EMP, she would be utterly garbage, right? You would never play her. Tracer just does everything she does better. So all of our power is locked up in her ability to hack and EMP. The EMP in particular is like the best ultimate in the game. It wins fights. It's good. You want that ulti. So, to facilitate this, what we need to do is start dealing damage to things and find good things to hack, find good targets to sort of figure out. And what I generally like doing is when I do play Sombra, I like trying to just get myself in a position where I can figure out what the enemy team's doing and running. Like, I want to know what the deal is with the enemy team, because then I start making plans. And when you start making those plans, you start making plans like, okay, who can I mess with? Who can I actually really ruin? Hacking the Reaper isn't terrible, but like in this 1v1 fight, like, you're lucky to get the hack off. If he just fires a shot here, if he just looks at you and just goes, you don't get the hack here, and then you're just kind of stuck. Like, you can't contest him around this corner properly because he just wins that fight one-on-one, and you shouldn't really be able to get much from this. Like, he shouldn't be running this hard from you. He should just stand his ground, but I guess he's a little bit nervous about the team following up. So as a result, we're kind of, yeah, we're playing like a really bad version of Tracer at this point. Definitely hack that. Okay, good. Hopefully you're in voice comms and telling everyone. Why do we need to reload there? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Please reload after translocating. Like, Sombra has 60 bullets in a magazine. She needs all of them. Generally, you need more than all of them. I actually spent a good amount of time when I was practicing my Sombra playing free-for-alls and trying to kill people in a single clip. I'm working as hard as I can on doing that. Generally, it still takes me 2, but like working very diligently on, I need to improve my tracking, so I'm going to work very hard on making that, like, making it much more likely for me to kill in a single clip. We bailed out way too early out of that, I think. Yeah, the Reaper's a little bit scary. This is definitely something that you should communicate to your team if something like this happens, which is like maze hacked, because a hacked Mei is very vulnerable. Like, without wall, without anything else, you can do a lot of damage to it. But it looks like the team's content to just sort of play where they are. Okay, Ryan gets it. Get the hack on this guy. Now it's a good hack, because now, hey, your team can support you. This is not a fight we want to take. This is risky. So here's the thing about Ana, and I can tell by like how panicked we are, and we do get the kill, which is nice. A better Ana would punish this, 100%. Ana has one of the most fiddly and annoying hitboxes in the game, because she has this cloak, which actually does a really good job. Like this, all this here that looks like it's Ana, all of this space, this isn't Ana. Like, Ana's hitbox right now is literally like this. And your gun does damage like this. Right? It's like, I'm going to hit all this space. So, killing Anas that are actually know what they're doing and know the matchup between Sombra and Ana will know that once they get to about this distance, they have all the advantages. They need to hit you 3 times, and because you've committed your translocator, she knows you can get a kill because you translocated in. She just needs to hit you 3 times, and she wins. And maybe she just needs to hit you twice, survive long enough, and then grenade, and she will get a kill. So even if you get the hack off, basically what a good Ana will do is generally just play very evasively. She'll just strafe around you, dodge, 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 shoot, shoot, shoot. And then she'll basically wait for the hack to wear off and then just grenade and get both of you. But we get the kill at least, which is quite nice. So here's something I don't like. It's Moira. Like, here's the thing with Sombra, and like this is a big important part of dealing with Sombra, and I mentioned this when I was looking at Rip's VOD, which is the idea of knowing your matchups, which is kind of a fighting game concept, but very true for Overwatch as well, especially for these more independent heroes, or when you want to play independently. It is very important to know like the flow, the general flow of how each 1v1 goes. I think that Ana also panicked. Yeah, the Ana's also like freaking out. The Ana's in a terrible position. Like, she shouldn't have stayed where she was for as long as she did, but this is the penalty she gets. Honestly, it should be the Genji like getting this kill, and the Genji should be able to deal with it. The Genji should be with you, maybe getting this kill. Yeah, what do I mean by knowing your matchups? I mean, as you're playing Sombra, well, Sombra especially engages in a lot of 1v1 fights. You're going to engage a lot in battles against individuals, like this Ana, and then like this Moira. And we see that the Moira is very damaged. I would still, like, because you're in an area where, you know, no one can really contest this hack, and she's flustered as hell, I'm sure, I would just hold right click, try for a hack. If you get it, you know 100% that you can kill her. Like, absolutely 100% that you can kill her. As it is now, there is still a good chance that she can get away because our damage is super granular. Granular damage just being like, if you think about how, if this is time and this is damage, right? If you think about how McCree does damage, like this, let's put this as 100, this is 200, right? A McCree does 0, 0, 0, 0, 70, 0, no extra, boom, boom. Like it's, or these should actually be like straight lines, right? While Sombra does damage like this, right? It's like, if as long as every shot lands, it's just a very, very smooth slope. So what this means is when you know that, oh, well, I have time to react because I'm almost dead, I've almost taken 200 damage, well, I can just use my cooldown and I'll be fine. So you've got to be like very aware of like, hey, she could fade, and lo and behold, she fades and she just vanishes. This is the penalty of not having a translocator, and this, like, this feels like, oh, I maybe should have translocated after killing this Ana or something like that. Yeah, technically you should have thrown a translocator down, but this is the wages, honestly, I would say, of this decision here, where we just translocate for this Ana kill. This kind of play is a very heavy committal out of Sombra, and like, you need to internalize that doing this commits you hard to what you want to do. This is like a very, like, I am going to be fighting here, and this is what I'm going to do. I will probably be at very high risk. I might die. Like, your entire survivability is predicated on your ability to translocate out. So yes, technically, you should have reset here as well, like thrown a translocator, a fresh one somewhere else. But the way, like, to me, the beginning of this death comes from this decision to translocate here. And it's more like mentally setting it up in your head of, I should know that this bit here, that doing this is a big deal. And then once we come out of doing this, once we've got that kill on the Ana, I need to like, okay, I've done a big thing. Now I need to reset slightly. And once you've got that down in your head, then it starts making a lot more sense. Because you can do things like this. You can fish for kills using the translocator. You can use it as a hard commit. It's just making sure that you appreciate, I have committed, and then going straight into this is even heavier of a commit. Because once that Mei turns the corner, yeah, you're just dead. Like, you can't do anything to stop her. You lose. Ooh, a little bit of third person. I will say, like, we haven't had too much time to talk about it, but now we're at the point, and like, when you're coming back from spawn here, this is where you should be thinking hard about, okay, how long until EMP? So you got about 20%, so you'll probably get it in this life pretty soon. Who can I frig with? Sigma actually should be a very good hack target for you. He should be pretty easy to hack as well. He won't be able to remove his barrier. He won't be able to use his like fancy absorb ability. It will really shut him down quite bad. Roadhog you can definitely mess with as well if the Roadhog gets big for his boots. May you want to, like, for your team's benefit, very good hack target. And let's say out of their team, those three are the ones that I'd be looking to hack the most. Hacking Moira is okay for, like, disrupting her ever so slightly, but she can still put out a ton of healing. She's not really affected by it. Hacking the Ana might help in certain instances, like if you set up a dive with the Genji, sure, in theory it can work, but in general I'd be looking at Sigma, Mei, and Roadhog for my hacks. And Roadhog for, like, building ults. Ooh, that's a bad ulti out of the Mercy. Feels bad, man. Don't like this. Oh god, what are we doing? Yeah, don't do this. This is like years of Team Fortress 2, like, suddenly flash before my eyes of spies running through, like, the most contested choke point. You literally have, like, so many pathways available to you here, and you pick this one? You pick this one? To jump into the enemy team? I've turned into a trumpet. Yeah, you go this way, and you can go around. You can go even further around, and come out on, like, high ground as well. You can go up and over on this side, over the blue boxes. You can go down and under. Wouldn't really recommend that. Up and over is where I'd probably go. Like, getting on high ground up here, great position, because then you can look down, you can just fire off hacks. Their team can't really deal with you so well, like, maybe the Junkrat can come and try and handle you, but just standing up here, firing down some hacks could be really disruptive for them. You can just farm your ult quite safely. You could also try and be a little bit fancy, but you could, like, try and, like, set a translocator here, or even maybe towards, like, inside past them, and play from the high ground back here, which would be really disruptive for them, but that's a pretty big commit. Like, that's pretty risky. Never do this. Thinking this should never cross your mind. Like, this is where all the gunfire is going. All their team is shooting down here. You don't get in this way. Try to get a quick hack and leave? Yeah, you could have had EMP by now. Like, this is all dead time for us. Nice. Kill him. Don't panic. Don't panic. Chill. Relax. Oh, the panic. The fluster. It's a Junkrat. He's pretty chunky. Just hold left mouse button, put the crosshair dead center on him, and just follow him. That's all we need to do. Honestly, you could probably just get out at this point. See what I mean with Anas? Like, this could very easily be how it was before. Get out? Okay, good. Got EMP. Stealth. Less keen on this. Don't know why we've come this way. Yeah. Might not even need it. Don't EMP, don't EMP, don't EMP, don't EMP. Okay. Bunch of things here. Like, this is why Sombra's so easy to coach, because she's all decision making. And it's very easy to, like, go, let's question this decision. Like, this is neither here nor there. The big thing here is we have our EMP. We are ready to go. We should be, like, reporting this to the team as much as possible, mashing that Z button that lets everyone know that we have our ultimate. I have no idea why we reset to low ground. If you are going to reset to low ground like this, go pick up the large health pack. Like, it's just over here. Take 2 seconds, get the large health pack. Because EMP was nerfed, not majorly, but it was nerfed. It was like, you know, it takes a little bit longer to come out now. It's not quite as instantaneous. It's still like a, you know, 0.1 of a second longer. It's really not a huge deal, but it's still a, you know, you can die EMPing. So let's be careful. Let's make sure we're doing, like, there's no reason not to do it on full health, basically. And you have so many advantages coming in from above that there's no reason ever not to. Like, you can literally jump off blue boxes, like up top, because there's 2 blue boxes up there. Just jump off and just EMP them, and they probably won't even see it coming. Once the kill feed starts looking like this, yeah. EMP is one of those ults that, you know, you got to be certain that you're going to do it right. This actually isn't good for us yet. We just want to get out. Hack him. Moira, Genji, and me were pre-made from last game. Well, Genji's gone in. Yorana's gone big as well. So here's the thing with this. Like, it kind of works out because the Roadhog isn't very good. Which is always plays to our advantage. I think you should have taken the Translocate there, though. I would have taken the Translocate there. You are looking to reset as fast as possible. Like, to me, extending this fight is pretty high risk. The second, though, like, this is where, you know, again, knowing the matchups is so important for Sombra. You will not kill Roadhog in good... Like, you can kill Roadhog as Sombra. You can absolutely do it. It just takes forever. And the thing you've got to do is catch this as fast as humanly possible. The moment he starts, like, lifting it, you've got to just start the hack straight away. Deny as much of that healing as you can. Yeah, he gets the Moira. We bounce out. You're causing problems for Yorana. So this is where you're like, oh my god, Ana, please heal me. Stop looking at the Genji. All of Ana's attention is focused on, we need this play to work. We need this to work. He used the I need healing button. He pressed it. He said, like, Sombra goes, I need healing. It doesn't matter. Ana is fully, like... Because the Ana knows that if this Genji goes and kills everyone, your health doesn't matter. Also, you're a Sombra. You can look after yourself. Like, once it's pretty evident that her attention is completely focused, yeah, just go pick up the health pack. It takes you 2 seconds. Honestly, I think this is not the greatest decision out of the Ana, but hey. Large health pack. Literally large health pack. Is that there, Sombra? Sombra, Sigma. Yes, it is. Whenever he had Blade. I mean, he's had 1. Yep, this is actually a matchup you can take as Sombra. Okay, I like the fact that we did get a Translocator out. Get out! Get out! Translocate! Why are we risking this? Why risk it? There's no need! There's literally no need to risk it! Translocator is on such a short cooldown, nothing is up here to contest you. They don't have a team that can contest high ground. Just Translocate out. Just get out. Your team is not going to be pushing for like the next 6-8 seconds that you need to reset your Translocator. Just... Because here's the issue. If you do this, and he gets a lucky grenade, and the Ana fires a shot, or he gets, you know, 1 or 2 lucky hits, and you die, your team loses. Right? EMP is so valuable that, like, losing it is unforgivable. And not being in position to use it is completely unforgivable. There is no reason to take any risks with this. You are literally invisible. Does sort of work out, at least, and your team should be able to clean up on the back of it because EMP is a really good ult. Maybe. Maybe. Emergency swap to Tracer. Am I actually fine with that? Oh, spoilers on the length. Oh! 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 What is this? So I like the Nano Sigma. Don't think it's going to do much. Oh my god, Moira, you beast. Look at this. Look at this objective focus. Look at her go. Hell yeah. C9, lol. Okay, back on Sombra. Hey, look, there's a... What? Hey. Oh god. Ugh. Oh, that's really going to confuse me. I was like, hey, there's a free diva. Oh, wait, that's on our team because the UI is bugged. That's annoying. Hack him. Yep. He is literally free ult charge. And yeah, you want to take this fight all day. Just keep hacking him, keep abusing him. And yeah, this is nothing but good fight for you. Just build up, build up, build up. 50% there? Okay. Hack this guy. Kill him. Nice. Now let's get forward. Okay. So this is why I think Sombra, in terms of like what people call, it's often referred to as like ludonarrative dissonance, right? When the gameplay and the story are at odds with each other. Sombra has like ludonarrative harmony in that she very much plays like the idea of the fantasy of the planner, the hacker, the sort of having an idea and being like very strategic in your thinking. And that's 90% of Sombra gameplay, is like always knowing what you want to do. And so you've won a fight. What do we want to do? What do we want to achieve before the next fight? What are we looking to accomplish? Well, we're looking to accomplish getting set up for the next fight, having somewhere safe to translocate, maybe having a health pack flipped for our team or denied for the enemy team, and being ready to hack and mess with the enemy team once we start getting to like this corner. That's sort of our thoughts. So you can absolutely like go up here, for example. It's weird to me that we don't like instantly take this translocate. And then I'm not super keen on that. Also, their team seems to be missing somebody. Get out. Okay. There we go, he's back. Your team uses a ton of ults. Does get a bit of a free second point. Okay. So again, set up for the next point. Not a bad idea to actually just flip this health pack, just to help out your team. Having it available it's one of the more useful health packs. Careful, careful. Good, I like that we're checking. Don't like hacking from here. Okay. Our objective, like, the reason why I don't like hacking from here, especially once you, like, you can hack from in here. That's fine. Hacking from where we started the hack, though. We get a little bit lucky that this Moira, like, is in front of us. There's still a chance that the Ana, like, panics and just nades us, for example, which is honestly not a bad reaction out of the Ana. Especially if they were playing like something more traditional, like a Reinhardt, for example, instead of the Sigma. The threat of the Sombra hack is a little bit, like, is incredibly great. So getting rid of the Sombra is going to be very important. We also don't know, like, when we're playing this game, what is still around this corner. Like, we kind of know where the Roadhog and Sigma are. We know where the two healers are. I don't know where the DPS is. And I'm just like, ugh. This is scary to me. Like, I would have liked to have seen us, like, on this moment. I remember me saying, I like that we're checking. It's like, hey, we see the Roadhog, we see the Roadhog. And then we see them move forward. I would like us to just use this time just to get through. Right? Once you're in, like, great. Then you can sort of take stock of the situation, find hacks. You know exactly how it's going to go before you even start the play. Right? It's like, to me, that is the power of Sombra. You can put yourself consistently in situations where you know exactly what is going to happen. There's no reason to take risks quite often. So this just makes me a little bit nervous, but I like the bounce out there, out of panic. And hey, we've got EMP ready. We've actually picked up a health pack for once. It's always a good sign. Your team is getting rinsed. Yep, flip it. Stealth, 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 stealth. Invisible is good. Invisible is almost always good. Just take the D. Yep. Big Shack has the right idea. Not Big Shack. Maxi Bender has the right idea. Group up. You are good to go for the next push. All I want to see is a nice safe pathway out for us. I'm not keen on this, to be honest. Like, it might work, he might get it, but yeah. Risky, it does work out. Your team commits everything. So the reason why it's risky is the payload does block EMP at times. Like, it can be finicky. Like, it kind of works, but I think, yeah. Moira is not hacked. Right? This is why people use translocators to do the EMP. And get like a nice high angle. And then bomb it. Yeah, there's... Honestly, I'd say there would be very little wrong with doing that in this case. They don't have like a transcendence or something that you'd have to worry about. The most they could try and do is like coalescence and you just cancel it. Like translocating above this and then EMPing it is going to be fine. It's going to be fine in most games to do that, to be honest, as well. Like it's only if they have like a Zenyatta in the team and the Zen is awake enough to go, oh, I know how this play goes, and then you transcendence because that makes him immune to EMP. So just be careful when dealing with line of sight blockers like this. Because as small as it sounds, like stuff like this Moira not getting hacked can cause your team problems. Like, yeah, your team could probably get a lot more value here. No problems finishing people? Yeah, that's Sombra. Like, you're not a killer. Like, it's tough. Sombra is not great at getting kills. Alas, you cannot translocate. You can sort of reset it, but you can't actually use it. It's very annoying. It's a good hack, but it's probably too late. Yep, everyone dies. Okay. Yeah, all of this to me is like, this is a good learning point of like, hey, make sure with my EMPs that I am hitting everything that I can. And it's like weighing up the choices and advantages and disadvantages of doing the translocate EMP compared to doing the like run and set up EMP. There's a couple of ways you could address this EMP. First is you can just translocate up here, de-stealth, jump, and then EMP. That would be one way of doing it. The danger is if the Roadhog spots you, then he could maybe hook you, Ana might sleep you. It's all kind of possible. It's not easy, but it's possible. I had a sleep dart experience yesterday where I jumped off the high ground as Hanzo, fired off a Dragon Strike, and Ana caught me right as I was channeling it, for example. Feels really bad when it happens. You can also just do the translocate EMP, which I think is the option I would have gone for here. Just because there's nothing to really scare you out of it. Maybe the maid doesn't get caught, but the big thing is you're going to get both the tanks, you're going to get both the supports, and you're going to get big value off the back of that. I definitely wouldn't have nuzzled the payload. Like, this is asking for trouble. It's, yeah. Like, you're just asking for line of sight issues. I think even the Ana, yeah, the Ana didn't even get EMP'd as well. So we luck out a little bit in that we get the hack follow up, but that Ana should have just mashed Q on, like, the Roadhog, or maybe the Mei, or if the Reaper was here, the Reaper, but hey. Like, she should have just dumped that ultimate as fast as possible. She could even put it on the Sigma in theory, not so much as, like, it's something useful for him, as it's really not, but just to keep him alive. Didn't know the payload blocks it? Yep. Any line of sight block. Your team commits everything, which is always a bit worrying. And I think we just lose here. I forgot to look at the time. Being honest, it doesn't matter that much. I'm sure, like, this is one thing that really annoys me about Overwatch, which is, like, people who go, like, oh my god, you didn't touch the Sombra, what are you doing, question mark, question mark, question mark, and it's like, you would have touched it for 0.2 seconds and then died. It's... Yes, we should technically do it, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's not the end of the world.
I'm guessing there's no chance we can take care of this quietly, is there?
I'm a little miffed that Maywall doesn't block Mayalt. They had to make that change, though. Like, they had to make it so barriers didn't block Blizzard, or all that would happen was you throw Blizzard and it, like, lands in front of a barrier, and then Ryan just stands there and no one cares. So, hopefully we're calling all this out to our team. It looks like we are. Don't like this. Don't like this. At all. One of the best places to stand, like, right here. You can even, technically, you could even stand, like, over here. And, like, where the health pack is. Maybe a bit further back, but over this way. The path that we run back along is literally the main path of conflict. Like, if people are going to fire stuff, it's going to be this way and probably a little bit above us, technically, but people could still absolutely fire some stuff this way. So that just has to be, like, very kind of nervy. And the nice thing about going behind them is you're behind them. You can easily set up for hacks on people. I also don't have a translocator up anymore. What is that translocator? What are we doing? Oh, I'm waiting for us to press E and then just die. Oh my god. Why have we done this to ourselves? Oh no. Oh, Long Johnson. Okay. So yeah, you can call out where they are. If they don't have a diva, you're not super worried about them, like, spamming. You could always go, like, where we ended up with the health pack over this way. We just want to be behind them and, like, know what they're doing. And the cool thing is, if they do, in the event that they do have a diva, or they do take the time to sweep and to, like, deal damage around them, to check and spy check, you just press E and you're fine. So it's like, and then you're pretty much probably going to be somewhere near where you started. Like, where did we leave our translocator? Yeah, over by the team. Like, so yeah. Like, there's no reason for us not to try. So we're going to... it looks like the Ana fell down first, so the Rhine moved to cover the Ana. That transic... I don't know what we are thinking with this. Like, this is madness. This is, hey... Like... The only thought I have here is if it, like, lands down here and the Ana just goes like, what the hell is this thing? And just stands next to it, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, I'm on 50 hit points. You come out of it and she just kills you. Like... We really luck out on not dying here, but our team does. Take the health back. You can set up back here if you want, yeah. It's a little bit risky, but it's doable. Build an ult. That's all we're doing. Build an ult. This is where you might want to move. Don't stay here. Okay. Sombra Mechanics 101. When you translocate, there'll be, like, the way it looks is, hey, this is Sombra. Isn't she cool? Look at her. Yay! Uganda is useless. Woo! Do I even have purple on this? There is a kind of a purple. When you translocate, there's lines that go where you're going. So in this case, yeah, they go this way, right? And if these two are paying attention, like, they'll go, huh, we expected you to go this way, and, like, over this way. But no, you went this way. That's kind of a big deal. I should think about that. Where could the Sombra be? Oh, she's obviously on the large health pack in the small room. Like, there is always a risk of someone coming and looking and chasing you down. And so, for safety's sake, I would always translocate to here, sort of the obvious spot, and then I'd probably just run and like I'll take this health pack once it pops up, and then rather than reset here, I'd probably just put it like up above. So I'd run up the stairs and put it up on top up here, and then I'm ready to go again. Because then the obvious place, well, there's no health pack, like there's no translocator over here. So they check, oh, they've wasted their time, they're going to go back. They're not going to go fishing around looking for it for a super long time. And then what you do is when you come out here, well, you flip this health pack, pick it up 2 health packs to get healthy again, and then you can go back and rejoin your team as necessary. Like, you have plans within plans. Because now you're in trouble. Get out, get out, get out, get out. They know you're here, yeah. Here's the thing. Like, they know, once you have translocated this way, they know where you are. They 100% know, so you cannot stay here. They are coming. Go up the stairs, go out the door as fast as you can. You heard the Ash as well, she's looking for you. Nice.
See you later. Ahorita regreso.
Just trying to frustrate and delay the hog while getting... Be very careful. Just trying to get out, yeah. Yeah, like abusing this Roadhog isn't a bad idea. It's just being safe while doing it is the big thing. Because if you die, then like your EMP's slowed down. He just rejoins the fight, and you got to be very careful. Like you got to be cognizant and you appreciate the fact that while you play Sombra, your team is missing someone on the front line. Like someone is, you know, normally you'd have like a McCree or something on the front line, but you don't because hey, you got a Sombra pissing about. You might need to EMP this. Should hack the Farah. Yep, good. Well. Look.
Feeling much better.
So, like, yeah, this is like the weight of all that pissing about we did. Right? Their team in the 5-on-5 won. Because your team has no DPS. In the 5-on-5. Like, if we take you... Oh, that's highlighter mode. We're on pen mode. If we take you out of the equation... And, like, this is something you really have to appreciate when playing Sombra. And this is why, like, every decision matters so much. Right? No Sombra. And then we take Roadhog out as well. No Roadhog. And we have these two teams fight each other. Well, this team over here, it still kind of has a tank. It's got loads of healing. Okay damage. Pretty, yeah, like you can grind down a Reinhardt with this. Especially combined with the Sigma. This team, decent healing, but your damage output is Zarya and Genji. If the Zarya can find anything to hit, which is going to be, what?
Loves.
The Farah? Yeah. Hey, thank you, S-Flame Gaming. Welcome. Welcome, 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 everyone. Coaching the many. We're talking about Sombra. We're talking about, specifically at this moment, the cost of Sombra. And, like, what happens when you waste your time. Because, as it is right now, yeah, this team wins every single time. And this is kind of what ends up happening in this game, where we end up in a situation where it's like, oh my god, they've just pushed and taken the payload. But guys, you know, and it's the old, like, Tracer adage of, like, oh my god, guys, I was keeping them busy in the backline. It's like, well, no. At this point, I realized the Farah needs to be hacked, so our team can, yeah. Like, hacking the Farah here, and, like, thinking about our hack targets just very quickly. Farah is definitely a good choice. Roadhog will definitely be a good choice. Sigma, absolutely a great choice. Those are the targets I would be looking to hack. Your team is in a lot of trouble. We do have EMP. Your team, these people are going to die. This Roadhog, this Reinhardt rather, is dead. He's wasted his ulti. We shouldn't even be shooting here. This is bad. No, replace that translocator. You can't be here. Don't be here. Don't do anything. Don't. Oh god, what are we doing? Oh god. No. Why? Oh. That's. Yeah. Yeah, that's how that goes. At this point, I realize I don't have Translocator. I think I got destroyed. Yep. we rushed the hell out of this. Like, this is all realization. This is all about knowing and understanding how, like, it's that thing I mentioned earlier. As Sombra, you will always, or you should always kind of have a good, rough idea of how a fight is going to go before you even do anything. Like, it's the power of Sombra. You can always set yourself up. And so when you're coming back here and you see, like, well, these guys are really pushed up. The payload's still miles away. Like, payload's still around this corner. They've pushed up. They've killed half your team. This fight is lost. It's done. It's over. But you're Sombra. And Sombra is invisible. And being invisible is really good. So you can just go, well, we're probably only going to get one, we've got to stop the payload, like, here. But that's fine. Like, you're okay with that. You have Shadow. You had Shadow. The Reinhardt went a bit nuts, unfortunately. You got Coalescence. You got Blade. You got Grav. Like, your team's in an okay situation. This is why I was so adamant on replacing this Translocator, by the way. Like, this is really rushed. There is no need to rush at this point. Like, you have nothing but time. And so you can go put it on this roof. You can go put it in this room over here. Put it on the roof of the shuttle, because the Pharah can maybe contest it. The Pharah is probably what kills our Translocator at the end of the day. You can go and slap it somewhere, like, even further behind the team. Just somewhere that isn't, like, in the middle of the map where people are going to fight and do things. And yeah, your Translocator dies literally to the Pharah right as we EMP. But this EMP feels super rushed to me. Maybe this is a voice comms thing, and like the team is pushing, but to me there's no need to still even do it this early. Like, there is just no engage, no follow-up. And the engage kind of gets there, but it's still kind of oof. I think you got everyone but the Pharah, and the Pharah is kind of what swings it. Yep. Go figure. Does Zarya die before she could grab? Yes, she does. Hey, yeah, that just felt rushed to me. Genji Cordy was gonna Blade. Even though you had time. Like, unless the Pharah is, like, camping the doorway, but she isn't, she isn't, you can tell your team that, and if you're on comms, there's no harm in doing that. Like, hey, your team can start pushing in, make their way in, nothing's going to stop them, and once your team starts contesting, you got time. Like, this is going to take a good 5-6 seconds to make it there. You have time. Yeah. Team starts running in, EMP, suddenly, because they want to do stuff, they want to, like, go, oh, they're running in, I'm going to counter, I'm going to swing in and do all this cool stuff, and then you just EMP. And you go, hi. You guys don't get to do anything, you guys just get to die. So yeah, that's rough. And then Pharah kills half your team. Ashe waits until EMP wears off, throws out Bob, good stuff. We shouldn't be dying here. Oh, this is where I would very much consider swapping. Yeah, so we're going to the Bastion. Not super keen on the Bastion here, just because they have the Pharah and the Ashe, and we don't have a good barrier tank. Like, we don't have a barrier tank, full stop. So we're just going to eat rockets and Ashe gunfire all day. This Bastion is basically going to buy you a little bit of time, I think, but yeah, that's inevitable. If you're going to go for a DPS here, I think McCree is a great option. Soldier would actually be pretty good here, considering our tank lineup is non-existent. With the D.Va Zarya playing the issue with McCree is that you'll just be kind of standing around going, huh, I'm just here with my gun and my hat, and then the Pharah just shoots you and the Ashe just shoots you and you just die. Soldier gives you a little bit more mobility. You can just like run up onto the high ground and stay up here and just play independent of everyone else. They can't really deal with Visor super well as well, because they just have Sigma to try and stop it. Soldier would be probably my go-to choice, or you would go for the Hanzo and just arrow them to death, but I think that lets the Pharah run rampant a bit too much. Bastion's just kind of asking for trouble. Oh, we almost get it, but... Oh! Oh! Recon mode, go! Shoot, 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 shoot. Nice. We got dunked. We got dunked by Big Shark. Oh, I like it. I love it. Zarya's grabbed! She's used one! Sigma's absorbed everything. Bob's gonna kill us as we come out of spawn. We are playing Reaper. That's a really nice Bob. That's a real good Bob. It's where we just die and lose, isn't it? Yep. Yes, it is. It feels bad, man. Widow? Like, Widow is something I'm always hesitant to recommend to people. She would be good here if you can play her. It's a pretty big if. So when I EMP'd, it's a like, I'd still say it's a little bit. It's not quite as bad as I thought, because they are starting to push their way in. And I'd say the EMP, like, hits now, you win. It's like, the closer to the engage you EMP, the better. Because the EMP lasts longer throughout the fight, but it also... It, like, messes with people because they want to react. They want to do something, and then they just... They can't. They, like... All their instincts tell them, do this! And then it just doesn't work. So, yeah, okay. The number one thing I would recommend 100%, 110% is, like, think about our pathways through the map. Like, once you start getting that down, it gets so much easier. Go into the pro game viewer. No, there's not that many Sombra games these days, but when they do pop up, take a look at those. Take a look at how those Sombras set up, and, like, how the routes that they take, the long pathways that they take to get themselves set up. Always have some sort of idea behind what you want to do, right? Like, to me, that is the number one top priority, is making sure you know what you want to do before you've even left the spawn, and then just take the safe route to execute it. Because the thing with Sombra is the safe route is often not that inefficient. Like, it might be really inefficient for, you know, another hero like a Reinhardt or a Roadhog to go all the way around the flanks. Sombra can cover ground so quickly, it's not really that inefficient. And because it's safe, you know that you're going to pretty much get those hacks off 100% of the time, get some damage out 100% of the time, and then you're going to get out pretty much 100% of the time. And when you start getting that reliability built up, then the trade-offs start counting for more. Whereas when you end up in scenarios like this one, where we're like putzing around in the backlines, messing with the enemy team a little bit, but they're still getting progress, and your team is still losing, and we're not like having a huge swing impact. Like, you need to be getting kills to do stuff like this. Because as it is, that Roadhog, like, as much as we're thinking, haha, we're messing with the Roadhog, that Roadhog's probably thinking, yeah, I've got his Sombra pin. I've got their Sombra pinned down. Like, their Sombra can't really do anything. She's just messing around with me. That's a fine trade for them. Right, he's taken some damage, and then he's going to rejoin the fight on full health. While we're just like going, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And they're engaging. And we're in trouble. So yeah, like 100% to me, the big thing is like, think about what we're doing very, very carefully. Still don't agree. Is getting EMP installing Road better for us? No, how? Like, you've tied up a Roadhog, but your team, like, first of all, has a Reinhardt. Their team has way more barrier damage than yours. They're still pushing. You've tied up the Roadhog insofar as he's taken about 400 damage and then just shrugged it off and walked back. We don't have the EMP. We are having very, like, we are out of the fight while we are doing this, and your team is losing. That is a bad situation to be in, and a difficult situation to defend. And like we have dead time, dead time, dead time. The Roadhog has dead time, sure, but it's honestly it's the off tank's job to deal with stuff like this, so he's doing his job. And it feels like we've even pulled the Genji into a trap because the Genji's come off and is now with us. And so yeah, our team just gets ground down. Genji does get the Roadhog at least, but like you've also got to consider other people's ults. So while we're building ours, our team is doing nothing but losing and falling back and taking damage. Their team has built Coalescence, almost has Sigma ult, which is a big deal, almost has Barrage. It's going to have a Bob. Yeah, probably in a little while, actually, with the changes. So yeah, we can farm for the Roadhog, but like in this entire situation, like I'd say our entire role, like our entire start on this half is messed up, where we have like dead time now. We could be doing damage after a couple of seconds here. Right, you stand there, you wait for the Roadhog to putz off somewhere, you throw out a hack on someone on the ground here, and then you just do a little bit of damage, translocate out, you come out with 10-15%. Straight up. But we've done nothing for 15 seconds, 16 seconds, 17 seconds, 18 seconds, 20 seconds, still done nothing. There we go. There's our first action in the game, 20 seconds in. We can do things much earlier than this with Sombra. And while we've done 20 seconds of running around, our team's lost a fight. Like, this is why it's so important to kind of know what you're doing before you even do it, because the contrast I want you to keep in mind or want you to think of is just imagine if you had a soldier on your team or a McCree on your team, and all he did for the first 20 seconds of a game is run from their spawn back to you. And that's what we've just done. Right? So it's like with Sombra, you need to be filling your time with as much as possible, and then like our first real actions are now starting to take place when the enemy team has massive advantage because they've won the fight, so they can just push. So we get scraps. And it's being like very cognizant of like you need to be as active as possible for as long as possible. And yeah, if I was a Roadhog, I would happily take this trade. Like, I'd be a bit annoyed that she's, like, farming off me, but yeah, I would gladly, like, mess about with the Sombra. Especially once I get to here, because I know I'm not going to die, because we have an Ana and she's up here. So all I need to do is ask the Ana to shoot me in the bum, and I will never die. And hey, look, Coalescence. Our team is massively on the back foot. They engage and they win. And so it's taking the time. Like, that's the big thing. It's just knowing that you have time as Sombra to just set up and like run through the steps of like, you know, number one, to have a translocator. Have like a safe haven translocate. Translocator. Number two, set up. So make sure your translocator is okay. Get behind the enemy team, set up, know who you're going to hack, look at the enemy team, look at what they're fighting. Are they distracted? Are they not distracted? What is your goal here? Are you just going to do a tiny bit of damage and translocate out and then just be ready to go back there really quickly? Are you going to wait for the enemy team to engage? What are you going to do with that? And then three is like planned EMP, which is kind of what happened here. But I just say it's a little bit early. Like, you want the EMP just as the engage hits. I think if you start taking the time, like, you will find it easier to play Sombra. Like, that's the weird thing. It will feel very counterintuitive because it's like, I need to be doing things, I need to be doing things. Oh my god, I'm not doing anything. But just taking the extra 2 seconds of setup will give you like 5 seconds of actual fighting time. Like, this is how a lot of your time should look as Sombra. Right? It's moments like this where you're just behind the enemy team, waiting for your team to get set up and start fighting so that you can then do something and start like just hack someone, shoot someone and do things. And I say even in these downtime moments where, our team's setting up, yeah, we can do little bits and pieces as long as we know And here's the thing with Sombra, you will always have the ability to know, because that's Sombra's power. That's how good she is. So that's going to be the end of this VOD for Coaching the Many. I do have another one, so I'm going to get started with that in a second. Thank you for sending in the footage. Hopefully this was useful. My advice, slow it down. Although I think this is technically a Guess My SR as well, because we don't have it. So you can do a Guess My SR. Hey. So chat, what do you think this SR was? What do you think this placed? If I had to guess, I would say... It's hard to know because we're not a Sombra player. So we're playing like an off hero. But judging from what I saw in the engagements, I'm going to say like 2.1. Gold, so we've got 2.4. So I'm saying 2.1. So I'm going to get a big thick 2.1 up near the top. 2.1. Anyone else? 2.4. Got 2.2. Well, I'm just going to say 2.5. 2350. 1988, my year of birth. 2.2. So I'm definitely towards the lower end of the spectrum. Let's find out. Hide the porn. 1750. So all of us. I am at 1750 SR at the moment. I'm normally golden because I think I'm actually winning games at the moment. Sombra and Soldier have been giving good results, although the game is sent in isn't a win. I think more can be learned through losses. Yep. I'd say that's probably more accurate than I was expecting, yeah. Like, I put it kind of high because, hey, we're playing off-roll, but no, that works out. The reason why I don't think it's near 2.5 is because of how the fights go, which is like, especially, I think like one of them over here is a really good example. Like, yeah, the fight where we EMP the payload, right? This fight. At around gold, you'll start seeing something different. Like, there'll generally be a little bit more structure to how this goes. But what it feels like is someone's pressed Q, everybody presses Q. Everybody presses Q. So now Genji's ult, so you've EMP, Dragon Blade, Nano, Coalescence all going off. They have a Coalescence going off. I'm sure the enemy team will be all pressing Q if they could at this moment as well. This is how lower ranks play. Which is like very much like, they press Q, I've got to press Q straight away. Oftentimes with EMP, you can win just on the EMP alone. Like, you very rarely need more than EMP. It's why it's like integral to a lot of what we call cycle comps in pro level play, where you have like two win conditions. One of them is EMP, the other, in this case, like this team comp could actually work as a cycle comp, where you win one team fight off EMP, win the next team fight off Nano Blade, and then you just cycle between the two. So then after the Nano Blade fight, EMP, after that one, Nano Blade, EMP, Nano Blade, EMP, Nano Blade. And you just cycle them and win every single fight. And you can then use, Diva ult, Sigma ult, and Moira ult to sort of augment that and just like, oh, well, we might need a little bit more for this fight. Well, I'm just going to throw a bomb into it. EMP bomb, Sigma ult, EMP, all of these things are going to be good. So, yeah. Right. I'm going to do the next video. I'm going to load up. Let's take a look. BLB. Two shakes of a dove's tail. Is that the phrase? I don't think so. Two shakes of a dove's tail? Who knows?